YouTube, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Yo, we got a good one. Go ahead, let's start this video. All right, guys, what is going on? Yo, listen. I got that squad with me today. You already know. You already done met my mans, but we're going to let him introduce himself again, but we're going to go around the room. You already know who I am. You feel what I'm saying? Ain't no need for introduction. Who are you? Bro?
Yo, it's your boy King Zigga, man.
Let them know where they can find you at, bro. Cause
you can find me on Instagram at AliZigga26.
And what else? Do you got anything else? You got anything else they can follow you at, or you just be on the gram?
He said that Ali, man.
He said Ali, bro. Listen, and who do we got over here, bro?
Boy, TaxHard is dudes, the shit, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir. You seen it on the screen, all right? No, you didn't, because I ain't tell y'all to look at the screen yet. But guys, you seen it in the title already. You feel what I'm saying? Go ahead and take a look at the screen now, all right? You see it down here, the complete Mortal Kombat timeline explained, because you already know we have questions, and my man's over here be a Mortal Kombat head. That bull, yeah, he on
since
it.
'94.
That man came out the womb talking about something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? We're actually about to get the answers, and you already know we talk about this type of stuff all the time. We just need to bring it to y'all, the channel, so y'all can see what's really be on our minds and how we really be talking about this. Because right now, we kind of feel like, okay, the story makes sense, but boom. Got a couple screws loose.
Start giving us what we actually want, man.
Yeah, like.
I know you're doing it. You're giving us what we want, but we want more.
Yeah, a lot more.
Where the stage transitions. Like I feel like everybody that's playing Mortal Kombat, all the streamers, Dynasty, Uncaged Games, and all that. Like, I've been under them comments and shit, and I kept spamming saying, where the death traps? And nobody said nothing about it. Or it will continue to never say nothing about it. Where is the stage transitions, man? You can't bring 3D era characters from Deception and shit, and they ain't flying off the board.
Real
That
talk.
don't make no sense.
Real talk, bro.
Real shit.
What you think?
Yo, they need to bring back the stage fatalities, man.
Oh yeah, the
That
stage
too. Y'all need to
fatalities.
bring that back too.
Yeah, that is a good one. The stage fatalities was something vicious, boy. Like, and then I ain't even gonna lie to you. One thing that need to come back is the whoopsies. Those stage transitions, those joints, bro. The up and down joints.
Yeah, because
we can bring those back.
Yeah, it always has stage transitions. So why y'all being lazy, man?
Yeah,
Exactly.
You put all this effort into the story mode, but nigga, we want an interactive game, man.
Yeah, like, cause this, I don't know what's really going on with
You
this.
got Dead or Alive, Tekken. They all
Even Street Fighter's learning.
Yeah, Street Fighter.
Even Street Fighter is trying to learn.
You know what I mean?
And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm a Street Fighter fan, but I know Street Fighter has its weak points. You feel what I'm saying? But
Facts.
Mortal Kombat, like, y'all been messing up for a while. You feel what I'm saying? And hopefully Ed bringing back a new timeline just could give the series what it needs. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, it's only one way to find out. And I feel like we're going to be able to get our answers explained throughout this video right here. So let's go on ahead and hop right into it. You know, sorry for all the talking, but we do got to get our shit off. You feel what I'm saying? We got to talk our shit. You feel what I mean? So let's go on ahead and hop into this Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat franchise features one of the most dense and elaborate timelines in video game history. The epic fighting game series unfurls its melodramatic narrative across 13 games, with a timeline that reboots itself not once, but twice. So how exactly does it all tie together? Well, as it's quite a mad, audacious timeline, it's quite messy. Hence why I'm going to use this handy chalkboard to map it out. And with Mortal Kombat 1 further expanding, or resetting the timeline, what better time to dive back into the carnage, that's with a K of course, of this iconic fighting game franchise. Hey, my name's Adam, and this is the complete Mortal Kombat timeline fully explained.
Oh, they updated.
Yeah, they're gonna have to be really on the origins.
Okay, so the Mortal Kombat timeline kicks off with, well, centuries worth of crucial backstory. You see, the fictional universe of MK is made up of several realms that are created and overseen by a group of celestial beings known as the Elder Gods. While we'll visit plenty of these realms across this timeline, the majority of the chronology is set across Earthrealm, which is basically akin to our good blue planet, Outworld, a war-torn place lorded over by the villainous Emperor Shao Kahn, the Netherrealm, which is basically the MK rendition of Hell, the realms of Chaos and Order, which sort of speak for themselves, and finally Adania, which is a land of beauty and prosperity. Anyway, as this is a fighting game, these realms are constantly at war with each other, and as a result, the Elder Gods have decreed that any realm which wants to conquer another can do so via a long, complex and elaborate series of 10 consecutive tournaments, and this divine red tape is known as the titular Mortal Kombat. All of which brings me around to introducing a few of the franchise's key players, whose actions effectively kickstart the events of the original timeline. First, there's Shinnok, a former Elder God who sets his sights on conquering Earthrealm, and for his troubles comes up against its anointed protector, the God of Thunder, Raiden. Raiden beats 7 shades of hell out of the one-time god and strips him of his power before exiling him to the hellscapes of the Netherrealm. Naturally, Shinnok doesn't just sit around licking his wounds, he builds his team for revenge, taking control of the realm with the help of his lieutenant Quan Chi. But with one bad egg out of the picture, another seeks to take his place, and this terrible lad is known as Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn picks up where Shinnok left off and is far more successful in his invasion of Earthrealm, to the point where he and his warriors have successfully knocked off 9 out of the 10 tournaments required for power. And with the 10th tournament imminently taking place, Earthrealm's protector Raiden assembles a team of warriors to make a last stand for the planet. All of which leads us right into the very first game in the franchise, but it's likely not what you'd expect.
Alright, Mortal Kombat Special Forces. Okay.
Yep, this timeline kicks off in earnest with perhaps one of the worst games in the entire franchise. Yep, the turgid spin-off Special Forces. I'll keep this one mercifully brief, as aside from being the first chronological appearance of US Army Major Jax Briggs, the story is, you could say, quite slight. In a nutshell, Special Forces finds Jax hunting down a bad lad by the name of Kano, who happens to be the crime lord of the Black Dragon Empire. Kano slaughters a whole load of Special Forces troops during a prison raid before escaping to the realm of Outworld. With Jax hot in pursuit, Kano discovers a mythical MacGuffin that can transport the user between realms, but Jax beats him to the punch and nabs the artifact for himself, which allows him to transport them both back to Earthrealm, where he dumps Kano in a nice cozy jail cell. But wait, there is another spin-off that we need to get through before we can get to the prospect of that mouth-watering 10th Mortal Kombat tournament. And sadly, this is another that could contend for the worst game in the franchise. Mortal Kombat Mythology's Sub-Zero, like Special Forces, sidesteps away from the fighting genre into action-adventure, and gives some meaningful backstory to 2 of the franchise's most iconic fighters. One obviously is Sub-Zero, and the other is his rival Scorpion. The pair first come face to face when the former is hired by Shinnok's old mate Quan Chi to steal an old map guarded from a Shaolin temple. Only unbeknownst to Sub-Zero, Scorpion has also been hired to recover the map, and the pair fight to the death to get it, resulting in Sub-Zero offing Scorpion. Naturally, a map leads to treasure, and that's exactly where Sub-Zero heads next. X does mark the spot, and Sub-Zero discovers a power-granting amulet that supposedly belonged to the disgraced god Shinnok. Quan Chi swoops in at the last second though and takes the amulet for himself, before bouncing back to his home in the Netherrealm. Enter Earth's protector Raiden, who's pretty pissed at Sub-Zero for handing something so powerful to a certified wrong'un and sends him on a mission to retrieve the amulet. Long story short, Sub-Zero travels to the Netherrealm, encounters and defeats his freshly deceased rival Scorpion, who's now an undead shadow of his former self, and tracks the amulet to Quan Chi's hellish fortress. There, he defeats Quan Chi before encountering the big bad lad that is Shinnok, who he escapes from in order to deliver the amulet back to Raiden. All of this eventually leads to that 10th and final Mortal Kombat tournament though, a tournament that Sub-Zero is cordially invited to. Okay, we're finally at the very first Mortal Kombat and the tournament to decide the fate of Earthrealm. But first, a little more backstory. You see, it turns out that there are a few more wrong-uns knocking about that feed into Shao Kahn's attempts to conquer Earthrealm. Firstly, there's Shao Kahn's right-hand man, the evil sorcerer Shang Tsung, who's actually hosting the tournament and stacking the odds firmly in the favour of an Outworld victory. And secondly, there's his prized fighter Goro, who's a four-armed warrior behemoth that has reigned supreme as the champion of the previous 9 Mortal Kombat tournaments, dating back for the last 500 years. So you can sort of see the uphill battle faced by Raiden and his team of Earthrealm fighters. Chief among Raiden's team is the Shaolin monk Liu Kang, but the roster also includes narcissistic movie star Johnny Cage, Special Forces agent Sonya Blade, criminal mastermind Kano, and of course Sub-Zero and the Undead Scorpion. While you can choose any of the fighters to take Goro and Shang Tsung down a peg, canonically it's Liu Kang who wins the tournament, and is crowned as the new Mortal Kombat Grand Champion. And with an Earthrealm success in the final tournament, Outworld's takeover threat is extinguished, which feels a little unfair seeing as they won the first 9 tournaments, but who am I to argue with the Elder Gods?
Alright, so we got Mortal Kombat 2, yo. So far, everything is still canonically going as best of plan.
Right, after a particularly chastening defeat in the 10th Mortal Kombat tourney on Earthrealm, Shang Tsung heads back to his home in Outworld with his tail between his legs. His master, the Emperor Shao Kahn, is naturally not too happy, and is pretty much ready to execute his lackluster lackey. But Shang Tsung manages to convince him to spare his life by suggesting that they organise another tournament on Outworld, which will give them a distinct home field advantage. Either way, Raiden and his band of Earthrealm warriors agree to the rematch and make their way to the home of Shao Kahn. Again, the tournament can be played with any one of a roster of 12 playable characters, which all lead to non-canonical endings, as the one true ending of Mortal Kombat 2 is once again the victory of Earthrealm poster boy Liu Kang. But Mortal Kombat 2's story is notable for a couple more reasons as well. Firstly, it gives us canonical confirmation that the original Sub-Zero, whose real name is Bai Han, was killed by the undead assassin Scorpion in the previous Mortal Kombat tournament. While this initially provides some mystery as to how Sub-Zero is still knocking about in Mortal Kombat 2, this is answered by the fact that Bai Han's younger brother, Kuai Liang, has assumed his sibling's alter ego of Sub-Zero. The original Sub-Zero descends into the Netherrealm where he's stripped of his humanity and eventually becomes the Shadow Wraith Noob Saibot, but I'm getting way ahead of myself there. Anyway, secondly, it introduces Liu Kang's best mate Kung Lao into the franchise for the first time, a character that gets a good deal more time in the limelight in our next game on the timeline. Yep, we're back in spin-off territory again for the events of Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, which is a rerun of sorts of the events of Mortal Kombat 2, but from the perspective of the titular Shaolin monks Liu Kang and Kung Lao. Like Special Forces and Mythology's Sub-Zero before it, Shaolin monks...
That's all. This is what they need to bring back, bro.
Yeah, they
no lie.
Central narrative of MK2.
Come on, bro.
And seeing as I've just regaled the story of both of those games, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, bro. Come on, man. Mortal Kombat will be everything.
Okay, it's time for Mortal
That's
Kombat.
like making it like a storm, but it fights like that.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
That would be hot. I'll play it.
Rubbish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll play it. That'll be different.
Running around, got the stage fatalities. And...
Shao Kahn instead opts to kickstart a plan supposedly 10,000 years in the making. This plan is to reincarnate his former young love, Queen Sindel, within the boundaries of Earthrealm, which will allow him to cross between the dimensions to reclaim his queen and conquer Earthrealm via a sneaky loophole. He does exactly that, and as soon as he takes over his queen and his new realm, billions of Earthrealm people all suddenly lose their souls. Luckily, Raiden is able to...
He said, yeah.
Naturally,
But
there
that-
are a whole load of stories
But that
about
already
each
let
one,
you
depending on which
let you
fighting
know
game
how
you
much of a
start
threat he is
the campaign
anyway.
with.
Yeah.
But there are three key
Because he's
stories
merging
in the
realms.
Firstly,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He didn't
like-
just conquer Outworld. This nigga was, he was bugging the first time. Like, yeah, that makes sense. That's why it makes sense for the Titans. Because niggas are already in
See,
mortal form.
That joint right there.
That makes sense.
comes to his battle injuries. Kung Lao's fate fuels Liu Kang's fury at Shao Kahn, who he eventually defeats before shacking up with the Edanian royal Princess Kitana, who herself has a long and complex family history with the Khan. Long story short, she's the daughter of Sindel, who, shock horror, it turns out is not Shao Kahn's former queen, but the wife of a lad named Jared. Anyway, then there's the clan of assassins known as the Lin Kuei, who have actually been around since the beginning and claim Sub-Zero in their ranks, and they take on a much more prominent role in MK3. Sick of having to deal with actual humans, the Lin Kuei decide to turn 4 of their prime assassins into soulless robots, and the unlucky 4 are Cyrax, Sector, Smoke, and our old mate Sub-Zero. Smoke and Sub-Zero opt out, for obvious reasons, but Smoke is hunted down and turned into a robot regardless. Sub-Zero is also hounded, but he's able to evade his former clan, and as a result he joins the rebellion against Shao Kahn. Lastly, there's the Special Forces duo of Jax and Sonya, who in the wake of Shao Kahn's defeat set up the Outer World Investigation Agency, or OIA, which becomes an organisation dedicated to thwarting potential invasions from other realms. Naturally, there are a handful of other subplots knocking about in MK3, but those are the key ones to the overarching timeline. Right, on to pastures new.
I feel like in the essence, I feel like it was one of them situations where if we were to put it like in Naruto, where the Raikage overlooked B, not realizing that B was actually the key. You feel what I'm saying? Because he was the most powerful. It was like the reason why you so strong is because you got that shit from your dad. Mind you, I'm adopted. I learned everything from y'all, but I'm so humble about it that my power just grows because of my humbleness. And you overlooked that because you thought like, oh, because I'm Raikage, because dad put me in place, that you were stronger than. Yeah, they're adopted brothers. Raikage and A, that's why they were A and B. A and B. You feel what I'm saying? And the Raikage is actually the third Raikage's actual son. But
The one that got brought back.
yeah.
So B is not related to him?
No, he was adopted.
Okay, but they all black.
Yeah. But he was adopted and he taught B everything he knew. But B, because he was so naturally skilled and gifted, but he was overlooked, he mastered that shit way before Raikage even knew he did it. So when in the war, when he didn't let him go and B stood up against A, he was like, how dare you stand against me? He was like, yo, bro, you just don't know. He was like, I've been stronger than you. I grow. Like, and he knocked him out the way. Like, he was like, when did you get this strong? He said, if you actually opened your eyes, you would have actually seen it by now. That I've been strong. You just didn't want to see it. So it's like, I feel like the same was like with that. It's like Bihan overlooked Kwa Liang. You feel what I'm saying? But Kwa Liang is that nigga. You feel what I'm saying? Like, always has been. You know what I mean? Which is why Kwa Liang in this one is Scorpion. He always been that nigga. Mortal Kombat 4.
Okay, step aside Shao Kahn, it's time for the big bad elder god named Shinnok to return to the fore as the primary antagonist in the MK
Yeah,
universe.
because Liu Kang whooped Shao Kahn ass this time. Like, he was not playing with him with the tournament, yeah, but
spin-off game, Shinnok
they
returns
you know
to
for a
wage war
fact
on
he
the
whooped
elder
his
god's
ass, you know what I mean?
back.
Yeah.
He set that nigga into remission quick, you know what I mean? To the point he came about.
Who helps him invade her
Yeah.
before supporting
That man had to come out.
Yeah. And that's
himself.
how you know, but think about it. Shinnok is working from a weakened state. That's what people gotta realize. So he had to do what he did. He had to make sure Earthrealm defense was weakened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense why Titans and all this shit is in the game, because, you know what I mean, niggas been doing shit on this level, you know what I'm saying? And Liu Kang been handling the threats.
Sonya continues on the Special Forces' long vendetta against the Black Dragon Crime Syndicate, and she tracks down another of its
like, they make it make sense why Mortals is fighting these shits, you know what I'm saying?
Before she's nearly killed by the criminal. Fortunately, her teammate Jax is able to step in and drop Jarek off the cliff to his
Yo.
Yeah.
Coming.
I ain't gonna lie, they said that really happened.
Sonya discovered Lin-based cyborg assassin Cyrax malfunction in the desert.
He dropped that.
They revive the mad robot, restore his lost humanity, and recruit.
Yeah, that's the real story for Cyrus. That's the first time we found out he was black.
Yeah.
He faked his death to live a life that was respectful to his ancestors. But this turns to disrespect when he decides to rejoin the fight and take up arms against Shinnok. And finally, in the wake of Shinnok's defeat, Raiden is granted full Elder God status, and as a result he retires from his position as the protector of Earthrealm, handing over the role to his brother, the God of Wind, Fujin.
But don't you worry, this is not so he becomes the Elder God at this point.
Yeah.
Beat Shinnok, take his place. So that's one thing they don't be saying. Raiden, he ascended to
godhood,
to real godhood, like Liu Kang ascended to demigod. Yeah. So it makes sense. That's like him becoming a fucking Titan himself. So they've been playing with these stories. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being second best, they decide to team up when
he just never became an Elder God this time,
the mummified remains of the first Emperor of Alpha.
That's crazy.
Deadly Alliance.
And his massive army. But before they can take over the known universe, they set out to dispose of the two people that might stand in their way, Shao Kahn and Liu Kang. After faking allegiance to the former, the pair murder him in cold blood before travelling to Earthrealm to drop in on Liu Kang. And Shang Tsung finally gets his revenge on Mortal Kombat's mainstay when he kills the franchise's core good guy once and for all. Yeah, we are 5 mainline games in, and the ever-present Liu Kang is dead and gone. He's not even playable in the game, which is a really ballsy move by the developers if you ask me. Anyway, the sorcerer's
but it was smart in the end. They took away what we was feeling for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For 3 games at a time, technically, story-wise, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had nothing to do with anything for his 3D era, you know what I mean? For real.
Yeah.
He became a whole... Liu Kang literally became a cameo character in the franchise. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You only could just play him story-wise. He had nothing to do with nothing for real like that.
Confirmed in the intro sequence of the next game, they all fail in their attempts to stop the Deadly Alliance, and Jax, Sonya, Kung Lao and Kitana are all killed in the fight. This all leads to Raiden telling the other Elder Gods to hold his beer as he renounces his status as a god and rejoins the fight to take out the Deadly Alliance himself, which leads straight into the intro of...
He's an Elder God, right? You know that, right?
Yeah, he's an Elder God, yeah.
He's an Elder God that... in the flesh, basically.
He relinquished this status again.
Oh yeah.
Because
for Deadly Alliance,
for Deadly Alliance, that's why in the end of Deadly Alliance, that's why he appeared at the time that he appeared. When Quan Chi and Shang Tsung was getting ready to do what they do. Remember, Raiden came out and he started fighting both of them.
Yeah,
then, mind you, he lost all his power, so he started getting his ass whooped. And then, mind you, that's when Onaga came out. Remember, all 3 of them tried to go up against.
Yeah, that's
but Raiden blew himself up.
Now it makes sense, bro. Now it makes sense.
Remember, he blew himself up.
Chronica, it don't not make sense. You know what I'm saying? But like how we was thinking, where the Titans came? Come on, man.
They always been around.
We just had the 2 strongest sorcerers at the time.
Yeah.
Team up. Then not only that, one's a demon, the other one's a whole sorcerer. The Elder Gods put the curse on them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then you got a whole god that became a whole Elder God that relinquished his status to fight them, to fight this nigga. So that means this nigga is that strong. It already makes sense. They was already,
mind you, they was coupling they darkest magics against
one band and all that
bouncing
shit.
Off this nigga.
Yeah, like, so that makes sense. Chronica, she's just probably a different race of people that birthed the Elder Gods. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But strength-wise, we can't sit here and say Onaga wasn't prepped to be the strongest nigga of the room.
Yeah, that's why this nigga had to be stopped.
So he's stronger than Crockett.
Yeah.
And they just waiting to put this in
As
play.
a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if...
Shao Kahn is
Nah, not only that, but it's like,
'Cause
I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kronika is... She knows that, because mind you, the one thing that I'm feeling from Mortal Kombat is that Mortal Kombat is your one story that is out the loop. Like, let me break it down for you. Every fucking story we have, it's the hero beats the bad guy. But for once, I believe that Mortal Kombat is that story where the bad guy is supposed to win. Hands down. But the good guys are throwing every rock they can at them and it's just bouncing off for the time being. Like, it's doing its damage. They throwing asteroids here and there, which is Liu Kang. You feel what I'm saying? Johnny Cage, Cassie Cage. They threw their little, you know what I mean? They threw their asteroids. But it's all futile. Because Kronika knows, like, even she knows, like, yeah, the one being supposed to rule this show.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to do my job and all of you are in the way. That's it. I'm just trying to do my job. That's it. That's like you going to the store yelling at the cashier because your order rang up 34.19 and he told you 34.19 and you ain't like the way he said 34.19. But he did his job. He said 34.19 and you got mad. You mad at him for doing his job. So it's like, I really feel like this is that one. That's why Mortal Kombat, I feel like it has so many leaning fans. But I for one, believe that this story is one of those stories where the bad guy is supposed to win and the good guys are just being futile. Cause like, yeah, what gives us hope? We get hope because of Liu Kang. But in the regular timeline, Liu Kang is supposed to be what? Dead.
Shao Kahn, real rap. What Onaga was, as strong as Onaga was, Shao Kahn was stronger than when he took Blaze's power. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, go ahead.
So Shao Kahn is the ultimate being. So
right.
what Liu Kang doing is supposed to be Shao Kahn doing.
Right.
Kronika is setting everything up, supposed to be him. It's supposed to be him. You thought it was Onaga, but nah, it's Shao Kahn. So the way he looked, they gotta intercept it. If Onaga don't come back, in essence, they gotta make Shao Kahn what he was supposed to be. For real, for real.
I think that's what they're trying to do because the one thing that's not
gives him his form, like
what doesn't make sense
him the
is
Dragon King at least.
What doesn't make sense is the fact that how you win 9 tournaments and you lose the last one and you just continuously lose.
Yeah, facts.
But then later on, it came to be revealed that Liu Kang and Raiden were stronger together, but we're never supposed to realize that.
Yeah, never. They was never. Yeah.
So the one being was always supposed to rule.
Basically, Raiden realized that's what they have to tie in the story. Why the one being, what was Kronika's point of keep resetting timelines so he don't come back? Because at the end of the day, they have to make all this make sense.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is like some what do you call it? What is her name? Anyway, the mother type joint where she was getting like an army ready for a certain somebody. But the only thing that debunks that theory is if Kronika really was trying to get an army ready to go up against the one being, then why not allow Raiden and Liu Kang to do what they do?
Okay, so we're right back into the thick of the action at the beginning of Mortal Kombat Deception, Raiden versus the Deadly Alliance. And I'm afraid it's not good news for Raiden. The Thunder God is finally defeated and battled by the sorcerers, but while he's out for the count, the Deadly Alliance turn on themselves in a bid to claim the power of controlling the Dragon King's army. Quan Chi eventually emerges victorious, but blinded by the heat of the battle, he doesn't realise that the Dragon King himself, Onaga, the ancient ruler of Outworld, has been resurrected alongside his army. With the help of the revived duo of Raiden and Shang Tsung, Quan Chi attempts to fight off the Dragon King, but Onaga is totally out of their league on the battlefield. In a last-ditch effort to stop Onaga, Raiden releases his godly essence, which basically amounts to a small nuclear bomb, which blows everything up, killing Quan Chi and Shang Tsung in the process, but leaving nary a scratch on the Dragon King. That's certainly not the end of Raiden though. His godly essence regathers on Earthrealm, and the God of Thunder effectively returns as a vengeful, pissed-off god. His mood is not helped by the introduction of Deception's lead protagonist, a lad called Shujinko, a next-generation Liu Kang of sorts if creator Ed Boon's words are anything to go by. You see, Shujinko is something of a gullible fool, and it's Onaga's deception of him that provides the context for the game's title. Onaga, disguised as an emissary for the Elder Gods named Damashi, orders Shujinko to search high and low for 6 mystical Kamidogu, or god tools, to help him further cement his power. His ultimate endgame? Nothing short of the destruction of all the realms in the known universe. When Shujinko finds out about this deception, he's naturally pretty pissed, and he swears revenge on the Dragon King. Luckily for Shujinko, Onaga has taught him the power to mimic other fighting styles, a misguided move that ultimately leads to his downfall. But back to Raiden, who's so angry about Shujinko's foolish behaviour that he digs up Liu Kang's half-rotten corpse and revives him as, well, a zombified husk of a monk. And so Liu Kang re-enters the fray, sort of, and goes on something of a murderous rampage totally unbefitting of a Shaolin monk. Anyway, the rest of Mortal Kombat Deception is a big old battle for supremacy between the surviving fighters from Deadly Alliance and Onaga and his band of supporters. Onaga has also drafted the realm of Edania into his ranks as well, with the help of Edanian Princess Melina, who's also in on the Deception game as she's running about pretending to be Princess Katana. Oh, and on top of all of this, Onaga uses his power to resurrect the dead to revive all of the previously deceased combatants to fight as undead warriors for him. So cue zombie versions of Sonya, Kung Lao, Katana, and Jax, etc, etc. Anyway, back to Liu Kang and not the zombie version that I mentioned earlier. You see, Liu Kang's soul has lived on and has latched itself to a fighter known as Ermac, who's basically a human conduit for souls anyway. And this unlikely duo helped to free the imprisoned souls of Onaga's.
So yeah, he was fighting with him.
So he controlled Ermac.
Yeah. So he was alive to an extent.
Yeah.
Which I suppose brings his story full circle. Shujinko uses
So he was
his
alive
aforementioned
through her.
So he used that nigga to really go ham. That made Ermac strong as fuck, bro.
Okay, so it's Shujinko that kills Onaga.
So he latched on to Ermac and helped him fight.
Now
That's
we got
hard when you
Armageddon.
think about it.
Yeah.
He merged with that nigga.
So, with that being said, Liu Kang merging with Ermac, that doesn't take my idea so far-fetched now. Where I stated that King Jared could possibly be Ermac, or somebody else could possibly be controlling Ermac. Because the way this man looked, bro.
Yeah.
The way this man looked, it's kind of crazy. You feel me?
It could be.
It's kind of crazy.
It could.
Like, because at the end of the, like, it doesn't take away my point of the matter being, my directive principle being, somebody could control Ermac because he's a bunch of souls. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and it goes to show that that could be tenfolded because Liu Kang overridden 1,000 souls to control one whole body. So, it, like, the question I guess is,
though, that Ermac can be controlled and shit.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. So, I guess the real question is, can it happen again? Can it happen again?
Probably.
Well, we into Armageddon now. Let's get it.
As this is the beginning of things getting very confusing. Right, so Armageddon kicks off centuries in the past when the Edanian sorceress Delia foretells the apocalyptic end of all the realms. She has the foresight to see that the cumulative power of all of the realm's various fighters will eventually destabilize it, leading to its ultimate demise. The circumstances of this actually happening though are complicated. You see, Delia's husband King Argus, who's also an elder god by the way, constructs a giant pyramid where the final battle royale for power will eventually take place. This battle royale will be against the elemental man on fire Blaze, who has been created solely for the purpose of killing the various fighters from across the realms. But if anyone but Argus's sons Taven or Dagon are to defeat Blaze, it would trigger the apocalypse. You see, complicated. Anyway, Argus puts his two sons on ice in the hopes that they'll be victorious against Blaze and put a stop to Armageddon. Long story short, and it is a long story, Taven and Dagon are awakened in the future and are instructed to fight Blaze by Argus in a bid to replace him as an elder god. The pyramid pops back up and intrigues the entire population of Mortal Kombat, especially when the top bursts into flames, presenting the new challenger of Blaze. And so kicks off the final battle to determine the fate of the realms and the ultimate champion of Mortal Kombat. Of course, there are multiple endings, with the original ending seen in MK Armageddon now being considered non-canon. In that ending, Taven is victorious against Blaze and takes up his position as an Elder God, a position that he swears to use as a means to prevent the Armageddon. But as we all know, this is not what ultimately takes place. As is revealed in the next canonical entry in the franchise, the 2011 reboot of Mortal Kombat, Armageddon ends with only two fighters left alive, Shao Kahn and Raiden. But before we delve into the fallout of that epic conclusion, it's time for something completely different.
Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe.
Yeah, I ain't like this shit.
I'm so sorry to leave you on a cliffhanger like that. I promise to keep this section really brief. Yep, before we can get into the meat of Armageddon's canonical ending, seen during the intro of 2011's Mortal Kombat, I thought I should explain why the 8th game in the franchise is technically AWOL in canon. Long story short, the fusion of the Mortal Kombat and DC universes takes place in a timeline bubble all on its own, and has no bearing on the story going forwards. It does, however, take cues from some of the preceding narrative from previous MK games, taking place in a world where Shao Kahn has been defeated. His defeat takes place simultaneously with that of DC villain Darkseid, and as a result the pair fuse into the monstrosity known as Dark Khan. This mad act triggers everyone and everything across the two colliding universes to absolutely lose their minds in a bloody battle royale until only Raiden and Superman are left alive. Ultimately, these two do-gooders team up to defeat Dark Khan and bring an end to all this madness. Anyway, as I said, MK vs DC Universe exists all the way out there on its own, in its own little bubble, and will have no more bearing on this timeline going forwards. But I thought it would be weird not to include it. Right, back to the main attraction.
So it means it happened, but it happened like another timeline.
Okay,
yeah.
So Mortal Kombat 9, or more simply, just Mortal Kombat, sees Shao Kahn emerge victorious against Blaze, and as a result, he's granted godlike
You
powers.
fucked him up.
These all-powerful new abilities effectively help him overcome the last living combatant, Raiden, in a fight to the death. But just as Shao Kahn is about to deliver the final blow, killing the God of Thunder, Raiden uses his own Elder
So he
God
kills him.
to send a message back in time
He
to
kills him
his
as
past
he
self.
do.
Yeah, he killed him.
Simply stating,
So he still died, but it's him putting his godly essence into another timeline.
But that's where 9 creates a new timeline to where 10 and 11.
That's funny as
This
shit.
dude,
Nigga
yo.
knew he was going to die, so as he died, he said that shit somewhere else.
let me explain. So the action
Yeah, that's funny as hell.
the events of the very first Mortal Kombat game.
You passed
Okay, now that makes sense. That makes sense. The way
Future along with
Yeah, and that's where this comes into play.
He zaps back into consciousness and realizes that his amulet has been damaged as a result of the visions he's just seen. And so the 2011 reboot largely follows Raiden's journey to discover who exactly the he is of the message he's just received. For starters, he doesn't think much of it, and simply assumes that the message refers to his top Earthrealm lad Liu Kang. So by and large, the events of MK1 play out much as they did before. The original Sub-Zero is murdered by his rival Scorpion, and Liu Kang defeats Goro and Shang Tsung. But as the tourney comes to a close, Raiden notices that his amulet has taken on more damage, which leads him to believe that he hasn't averted the apocalypse. More timeline changes come about in the retelling of the events of the second game though. Firstly, Raiden rescues Smoke from becoming a Lin Kuei cyborg at the expense of the younger Sub-Zero. And secondly, Raiden subs in Liu Kang's best mate Kung Lao to take the prime spot in the Outworld tourney for Earthrealm. Kung Lao is ultimately victorious over Shang Tsung and Quan Chi, but he's killed moments later by a surprise neck snap courtesy of Shao Kahn. Liu Kang flies into a fit of rage and beats the hell out of the Emperor, who has to be nursed back to health by the sorcery of Quan Chi. Anyway, the upshot of all of this is Raiden's amulet becomes even more damaged. That Armageddon is still on the cards, lads. With Shao Kahn and Quan Chi forming an alliance, Shao Kahn is able to fast-track the revival of his former Queen Sindel, and this opens the door for a full-scale invasion of Earthrealm. As a result of this, Raiden and Liu Kang lodge a complaint with the Elder Gods, who duly inform them that there's nothing wrong with the invasion. Unless they try to merge Earthrealm with Outworld without taking the proper action, i.e. a big bloody Mortal Kombat tournament to the death. Anyways, while all of this is happening, Queen Sindel basically slaughters most of the cast of heroes, including Jack, Sub-Zero 2.0, Smoke, and eventually Katana. And then Raiden finally realises that the he of the cryptic messages must refer to Shao Kahn, because if he attempts to invade Earthrealm without winning via Mortal Kombat, the Elder Gods will punish him. Liu Kang doesn't see eye to eye on this notion though, and makes a move to attack the Khan, and while trying to stop him, Raiden accidentally kills him. Whoops. And this mad timey-wimey narrative comes to a close when a guilt-racked Raiden surrenders to Shao Kahn, only for the Elder Gods to finally intervene, granting Raiden godly superpowers, which he then uses to destroy the Khan for not invading through the requisite bureaucratic means of Mortal Kombat. And so by the end of the 2011 Mortal Kombat, most of the heroes are pretty much dead, and Raiden is left to rebuild with Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage. But there's one last twist in the tale, as Quan Chi is revealed to be working with Shinnok, a la Mortal Kombat 4, and that the destruction of Shao Kahn and the devastation of Earthrealm has all been a part of their grand plan. Right, time to move into uncharted territory for the alternate timeline with Mortal Kombat X, which takes place a few years after the climactic events of the previous game. Shinnok has launched a full-scale invasion of Earthrealm with his army of the undead, many of whom are deceased fighters from the last game. Seeing as there are only a handful of quote-unquote good guys left in the series, it's left largely up to Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage to save the day, and they open up a portal to Raiden's chambers to help the gods of wind and thunder defeat Shinnok's forces. Out of almost nowhere, Johnny Cage awakens hitherto unseen superpowers that allows him to protect Sonya and hold back Shinnok's advances long enough for Raiden to nick his amulet and imprison the gods inside it. They track his partner in crime Quan Chi back to the Netherrealm, where they restore a handful of fighters to human form, including Scorpion, Sub-Zero and Jax, and eventually overpower the evil sorcerer. And so for the first time in, forever, a shaky peace finally descends across the realms, now that Shao Kahn, Shinnok and Quan Chi are all taken care of. 20-odd years pass, in which time a lot happens. Johnny and Sonya hook up, have a kid named Cassie, and get divorced. Sub-Zero kills Sector, and Sub-Zero reconcile their never-ending rivalry after Sub-Zero discovers
he did though.
behind the
He
death
did.
of Scorpion's family.
He killed him and all
20
the
years
fucking
later,
robots.
and the shit
Nah,
inevitably
facts.
hits the fan again. When a new
Sub-Zero
generation
nice,
of
bro.
fighters,
They underestimate him
offspring
when it
of
comes to him and
mainstays,
Scorpion.
including Cassie Cage,
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
one immortal technically.
Yeah.
You know what I
embroiled
mean?
in a civil
But
war
Sub-Zero,
on
he
Outworld.
alive and
There
he
they
whooping
discover
ass,
treacherous
nigga.
a lad named Total
That joke
Khan,
crazy.
the insectoid warrior Devourer, the latter of which is actually a double agent working for Quan Chi. In all the ensuing chaos, Devourer manages to get her hands on Shinnok's amulet, and so the plot becomes all about our good hero's attempts to stop Quan Chi and Devourer from resurrecting Shinnok, a feat that despite Quan Chi's grisly death,
Cut his head off.
Shinnok then launches another invasion of Earthrealm, albeit one that's actually and he makes his way into the core of Earthrealm's life force, which turns him into a hulking demon.
He said his grizzly down. Yeah, that nigga finished him for real though.
Yeah.
He did. He wasn't playing no games.
Nah, that's
He said,
facts.
fuck this nigga. Like, yo.
Yeah.
So I like that though. It could have been better if Scorpion was in his mask and shit, not him and Hanzo. But if he was in his mask and not Hanzo, bro, he cut his head off. That would have been crazy. I think that was a missed moment.
Yeah, that would have sent a big message.
It would have sent a bigger message.
Yeah, like because it's like it would have been like the chains are finally broken type.
Yeah, would have. Yeah.
Yeah, like that type of message.
It,
but it's like him and humanity already. It's like him chopping his head off. It's like it don't feel the need to like restore humanity if you're already a human. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna stop it right there. We pretty much know most of the story. You feel what I'm saying? We wanted to really see if anything's changed, if there's anything that's different. A lot of things seem to be the same though. You feel what I'm saying? Nothing really different. I don't know. What y'all think?
Mortal Kombat is heading in a direction where it's all over the place, but we need to appreciate it because all our desires get it can be met. Our needs can be met at some point where everybody's delivering. So we just give him that air, that floor. We gotta appreciate Ed Boon. You know what I'm saying? He's no longer just a legend in the background. You know, shout out to how I popped my shit back then in the day. I love your work, man.
Yeah.
Like, real talk, man. Everybody gotta give you your flowers. And first and foremost, keep doing what you're doing what you love, but making everybody else happy, you know what I mean? Because you made something that, like, you know, that's part of the hood too, bro. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, a lot of people grew up on Mortal Kombat.
Appreciate that shit, man. Kept niggas out of a lot of trouble, you feel me?
Yeah. How about you, man? What you guys say, man? Speak up, man. Speak with your chest, man. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, you already know what to do. Don't be afraid to hover and haunt that like button. Subscribe today to become part of the Soul Gang. Team Nephilim, let's get it. Tap that notification bell to know each and every single time that I'm uploading these videos, baby. And guys, remember to be good at the game. You gotta kill with skill. And until our next nightmare, guys. This nigga been doing that for like
Gamerz Nightmare.
It is. Hell
Nephilim
yeah.
Entertainment.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? TaxHard Entertainment, Trap Shit on TV, man.
Yeah, let's go.
TaxHard dudes, THU, Zigga.
Zigga, man.
King Zigga, man.
King Zigga.